So I've been wanting to create a video about the day I went to Bondi Beach and I met up with Amie and James from Amie Inspired to Write, Amie McNee. Um, it was so gorgeous, and knowing that it was coming, knowing that they were coming, and I knew I was going to go to the book, the little event at Gertrude and Alice, a very gorgeous bookshop at Bondi Beach in Sydney. So this was back when I was still living there. And so I was thinking, I was sort of basically a 56-year-old fangirl. And I thought, I want to chat about that. How much of an impact Amie and James made on my time in Sydney. I've made a video previously when I talked about We Need Your Art when Amie's book came out. And actually, today is the publication day of her newest novel, To Kill a Queen. It's the 12th of November in Australia. And so I've been wanting to make the little follow up video to share just a few gorgeous pictures that happened on that day, because I don't think when I planned this, I knew that this opportunity was going to happen actually. So I booked in for the little event at Gertrude and Alice, the coffee shop, bookshop at Bondi, because I wanted to hear Amie speak. I thought how gorgeous, because I'd met her a bit over a year previously at her event in Sydney, and that's when I first met her in person after listening to her and James on the podcast. From originally learning of her through Inspired to Write on Instagram and all those wonderful big posters that she makes, that I just found a real kindred spirit and a real freedom that she was imparting. It was really beautiful. And so I'd booked in, and being that I was busy making a lot of tiny paintings at the time, most of them had aura in them, now my little dog. Um, I got the idea, wouldn't it be really fun to make Amie and James a little painting? And then I thought, I really need for them to have one each, because they both individually are bringing so much. When I've listened to them over the last couple of years on their podcast, how much James is supportive of Amie is truly a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness and hear. And so I've invited them into my studio so many times via the podcast. I did feel, you do start to feel like people have become friends, which I know can be extremely weird, maybe for them in person to meet you because they don't know you from a bar of soap. So bless their hearts, they actually made it available a meetup time before the evening of the author talk at Bondi at the beach there. And so I did my big trek of an hour and a half on a walk, a bus, a train, another train, and a walk to wait at Bondi Beach near the meetings place. And it was sort of surreal that I decided to do things like that when I was in Sydney. If opportunities arose and it was within public transport capacity, which most things are, they just can take a while, or on the road can take even longer. It depends. And so I decided, yeah, I'm going to do that. So off I went, and waiting around, and then I got to hang out with them for nearly half an hour, just about on my own. We just sat and hung out near the Bondi Beach, and it was just so lovely. It was like meeting old friends, and I was able to give them the paintings that I'd made. So I wanted to share a few photos of those moments that filled my heart so much. Um, I've taken a scan, or Philip's done this for me, scan of, and so this is the painting I gave to Amie, a postcard of it. So it's got her little book in the painting. It's got my little aura sitting at a typewriter and a couple of little notes on the wall that I would have seen on Amie's Instagram. So that was lovely. And I just cut up one of my little cards and stuck these little bits on the wall as if they were paintings on the wall. I kind of loved how I came up with this design idea. I've done it over and over because it was so satisfying to sort of create this little moment um, of imagining Aura at a typewriter and then having like a notice board behind or a wall with art behind was really fun. So that's the painting that I gave Amie, but I'll share some little photos of it with you. But yeah,
This was the sketch before I did James's little painting. And I was very taken by his poem that he'd written and I saw on Instagram. Morning, sizzling white, creamy yellow, a chance to share love through service. We eat eggs together daily, small moments to feel our hearts. Happiness is in the mundane. Jimmy Winestock.
you know, as I'm putting this video together, I'm having all these moments where I start playing solitaire or I go and have a snack, go and do whatever. So lots of breaking it up, procrastinating, and I realize this is actually one of those moments where I can choose to be a bit courageous. What I'm reflecting on is I remember having quite a vulnerability hangover after this little event, especially how I was at the book signing part. It was really interesting how I just got carried away in the moment. There was a lot of excitement there. I think many people in the room had been so touched by Amie, and I'm really empathic, highly sensitive. So just feeling into all of that excitement. It's a big thing for an author to speak in person. I think sometimes they're probably much more comfortable at home in their own um, environment. I think I was almost having an out of body experience at the time. I was so sort of thrilled to be there and so excited. You're almost buffering and forget there's a whole lot of other people that are just as excited as you, Denise, and get out of the way, hurry up, you know. But that's where I mean a moment of courage. It's like just taking a moment, hug the person that has touched your life if that's they're available to that for that in that moment. It's really quite. It's very special. It's really beautiful. So yeah, I'm just noticing that yeah, the feeling of the vulnerability has been revisiting me as I'm looking at the photos and stuff. So anyway, I'm just trying to be kind and understanding to that part of me who feels a little bit embarrassed and a little bit awkward and weird because, you know, that's all part of it.
Having this moment with Amie and James come all the way from England and me in Sydney, and I'm no longer living there, it's really quite a beautiful thing, and seeing the joy on their faces was priceless and precious. And I'm so grateful for making the connection with these two beautiful souls. And the visit to Gertrude and Alice was exciting too. I used to make a trek over there a few times while I was in Sydney and sit and do a little sketch and just hang out with all the books. It was beautiful. So it was very special meeting there. And a big, huge hug to one of my heroes.
All right. Well, as I'm finishing this video, I was just remembering some words by Brene Brown. Stay awkward, brave, and kind. So in this regard, I feel like I have done some of that in this video. So thanks for joining me for this little beautiful little tribute to Amie and James.